Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the RAMBAM, Hilchas Yesodi HaTorah, Perek Zayin, Ois Vav, the letter Vav, and this is the difference between Moshe Rabbeinu's Nevuah, his prophecy, and the rest of the prophets that ever existed. Kol advarim she'amarnu hein derech hanevuah lekol haneviim harishonim v'achronim chutz miMoshe Rabbeinu v'Rabban shel kol haneviim. Everything we set up until this time revolves around the earlier prophets and the later prophets, but there's going to be a great distinction between them and Moshe Rabbeinu. And what exactly is that distinction between the prophecy of Moshe and the rest of the prophets? All the prophets, they see their vision in a dream, or some kind of a vision while they are in some kind of sleeping state. However, Moshe Rabbeinu is awake and he's standing. Moshe came into the tent of meeting to speak with Hashem. He heard the voice of Hashem while he's awake, while he's standing. All the Nevi'im, they receive their nevuah through an angel. That's why they see everything as some kind of a parable or a riddle or a metaphor. Moshe Rabbeinu but Moshe Rabbeinu did not receive his nevuah through an angel. Hashem says, I will speak to mouth to mouth. Like it says, Hashem spoke to Moshe face to face. That what Moshe was able to look at the Temunah, the vision of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Klaimar, that means to say, Shein sham mashal, there was no mashal, there was no metaphor. Ela roya adav al burav, v'loi chida v'loi mashal. Rather, Moshe Rabbeinu saw the nevuah clearly, without any metaphor and without any parable. Hu shatar me'id alav umar v'loi b'chidois. Like it says in the Torah, it was with a clear vision and not with any metaphor. She'elam is not b'chida ela b'mar sheroya adav al burav. He saw things clearly. He doesn't need the metaphor or the mashal or the parable to make him understand what's going on. All of the prophets, they were in a level of trepidation, and they would be confounded, and they would tremble when the nevuah was coming. Moshe was not like that. It was like talking one person to a friend. Just like you don't get anxious and you don't get confounded and convoluted when you're speaking to your friend. Moshe had this ability. Moshe had the ability to understand the words of nevuah. He stood confident and strong, and he listened to what HaKadosh Baruch Hu said without having convulsions and going into his transcendental state of nevuah that was filled with pachad, with fear and the like. So all the prophets cannot have nevuah whenever they want. Moshe is not like that. However, whenever he wanted to get a nevuah, it would come upon him. He doesn't have to prepare himself. He is always ready. Like the angels that are serving before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he's always ready to go, and therefore he doesn't need the music like we spoke about yesterday. He doesn't have to go into some kind of hypnotic, transcendental stage of hisbodedus, of introspection. He's always ready to go to receive Hashem's prophecy. Lefikach, misnave b'kol eis, that's why he's able to have nevuah anytime he wants. He said, let me get up and let me hear what Hashem is commanding. Now after Har Sinai was over, and Klal Yisrael was standing by Har Sinai, he told Moshe Rabbeinu, he said, tell Klal Yisrael to return to their tents, but you are going to stand here together with me. It's coming to teach us. All of the prophets, remember, all of Klal Yisrael was raised up to a level of Nevi'im, of prophets. When their nevuah leaves them, mistalekes choizvin la'olim. They had to go back to their tents. That's what the body needs. Kulan kishar ha'am. They're like everybody else. Just like a regular person is going to be in the tents. So your nevuah left you, now you go back to the tents, deal with your wives, with your children, with your eating, with your drinking, all your bodily needs. And however, and therefore they did not separate themselves from their wives. Moshe Rabbeinu did not go back to his original tent. He was supposed to, and he did, separate from his wife forever. And any other woman, he never got remarried. He was never involved in that physical bodily relations anymore. And rather his mind was bound up with the Tzor Olam, with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, all of the glory never departed from Moshe Rabbeinu la'olam. V'keren or panav, he had the radiant countenance that was shining from his face. V'niskadish kemalachim, he was sanctified like malachim, like the angels. Says the Rambam, Moshe Rabbeinu is in a different sug, a different category altogether, and that category is that he's elevated and brought up to such a high and lofty place that therefore, when the nevuah is coming all of the time, it has to be that he's separate from the physical world in order to always be ready to receive the devar, the word of Hashem. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos.